The first question is just to introduce yourself and your role at your publishing company.
My name is Anumeha Gokhale, and I work at Fernwood Publishing. My role at Fernwood is marketing, sales, and distribution manager.
Can you describe your role in detail for us, please?
When I first entered into publishing, and a very important lesson I was taught was a book is like a baby. It's the author's baby, and it's given to you for safekeeping until it comes out. So editorial and production do their magic, and then I become the concierge for the baby, making sure it's dressed right, it says the right things, and goes out and makes good friends out there in the world. So that's my job at Fernwood.
Now, if you could please walk us through a typical day at work and then maybe a not so typical day.
Every day is so different when you're in publishing. I know we do on paper the same things, but they are never the same. So, but in general, if I were to retrace what I would do every morning once I get up and get to work, first thing I will look at the sales. My sales numbers, and like on our website, on BookNet Canada. I will also look at our exam request database, where we get requests from academics who are interested in the book. And this is very important because this knowledge this internal pendulum that helps you decide, make quick decisions, doesn't happen overnight. So it's studying the numbers a little bit every day to come to a point where these decisions become quick for you. So starting the day with that, I go into my emails, and whatever is the most urgent, prioritizing is very important. So I look at author or external queries. A big part of my job is managing authors, and not just authors in the current season. At any given point, we are straddling 3 seasons. Do my metadata updates, as review, we get media hits, making sure that everything is updated and then sent out in the world, because that information is no good if it's just sitting in my inbox. So it's very important to put it out, do our housekeeping, run sales reports, slice the data in many, many ways to come up with new insights, and also a huge amount of tracking of things, follow up and requests. So that would be my typical day. Other not so typical day activities would be attending launches, managing book tables, attending conferences, fairs, and visiting bookstores.
Tell us a bit, please, about how your role fits into the ecosystem or structure of your firm and why it's important.
At Fernwood, we have a very flat democratic structure. So everyone is responsible for their own work. In my role, and it's a pretty big role, marketing, sales, and distribution, I have full autonomy to set my goals and expectations and then report back on that. It is important. I have an MBA, so marketing, I know I can write a book about it, not write a book, but possibly cite a few books why marketing is so important. It is how, it's important for the discoverability of the books. Also, so from sales and distribution point of view, the availability of the books, all this work that we do, creating these books would be nothing if they are not available at the right time, at the right place, to the right people. And that is why my role is important. Having said that, every role is important in the publishing house, because it's like the spokes of the wheel. If one is off, nothing will function.
Tell us, please, what someone outside of the industry might be surprised to learn about your role.
There's always help available. And as a recent immigrant and a new immigrant to Canada, I've only been here for like 4 or 5 years now. So I was like genuinely surprised and humbled once I entered into the publishing industry, is how collaborative the Canadian publishing industry is. I know there's healthy competition, amongst the publishers, but there's also a lot of collaboration. And if you're seeking help, it's readily available. I truly appreciate what ACP has been doing with the Publishing 101 series. It's really important, because these are the things people don't realize even after working years in the jobs. So to have something like this available, and there is something like this available, is something that people outside the industry should know about.
Why do you think independent Canadian publishing is important?
Canadian publishers are the ones that publish marginalized voices, which you won't find happening at too many bigger publishers. Independent publishers are the one who are actually doing the groundwork of going out there, finding these voices, publishing them. So that is why independent Canadian publishing is extremely important, to make sure that we as readers are getting not just one point of view, but a diverse point of view. So I cannot say enough about it, but that is my short answer for why independent Canadian publishing is so important.
What are your hopes for the future of publishing?
Increased awareness about Canadian publishing. So advocacy is very important. And I see the difference now, even in the last 3-4 years, there has been a concentrated effort to highlight that you should buy local and you should buy from independent bookstores, because Amazon is not doing us any favors by, sending us free deliveries. Ultimately, we are paying for it in many, many other ways. Another hope would be if there could be more federal and provincial support and funding, that would be great. If we feel the pinch, because it's very difficult. Academic books take a lot of effort, and when books get used without compensation, it's ultimately not just the publisher, but the content, the author who loses. And we publish a lot of marginalized authors who need that. But having said that, I understand that instructors are also grappling with newer environments, and there are certain changes, thinking of accessibility. And that is one of the reasons we decided to do ebooks, is because we wanted to serve that market. Our fear of losing out revenue to piracy should not be bigger than a student sitting in some corner of the world wanting our book. Ultimately, we want our books to be read. If they make money in the long run, great. But the point is just to sustain and do good work and put out good books.